Destiny is such a weird game. One year you have some clunky events, bad systems in place, and generally boring tasks. Then the next year it's like, holy sh**, what the f***? They did what to Cade? Oh my god, that was fantastic. A few things stay consistent though: exotics, set pieces, and player base. So in today's video, we're going to talk about remakes and remasters, more specifically why they either suck, are great, and how I believe to do them properly. So strap yourself in, because this video is going to be a different one. I'll come clean. There's some bad remakes in Destiny, so we will start with one that I believe is the worst offender: exotic weapons. There's so many old exotics that get advertised as new on roadmaps or even ads from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2. I love them so much, but here's the deal. Some of them are simply there on a roadmap to be nostalgic. Number one example of this is Truth. This weapon in D1 was a menace with aggressive tracking and 3 rockets in the mag. Now, having 3 rockets in the mag isn't so different for D1, but this is new for D2. So at first I was pretty welcoming to this addition in the game because we simply don't have rockets with more than 1 shot in the mag right now. However, here's my problem with Truth. Is the exotic still tracking so hard? I mean, yeah, I guess. It still tracks hard, but it isn't as good. The tracking isn't going to do stuff like in these clips right here. My main concern with the weapon though, nothing new was added to make it feel refreshing to use. Sure, it's the only rocket with 3 in the mag in Destiny 2, but it's also the same rocket, except it's actually a little bit worse than before. Other exotics have come back to the game with no marketing attached, just a simple nod from longtime fans. Usually Destiny is good about remakes and tries to make weapons feel new. Hey man, the moon's pretty cool. I can see what everyone else saw back then. That's pretty cool.
Man, I hate this place so much. Wow, it's just a reskin. Bungie, I hate you.
That right there is that's the player base. So let's talk about the moon and how to each person it is in the eye of the beholder. What do I even say about this one? It's like players on one hand really love that the moon is back in the game, and especially new players can enjoy it, while on the other hand, I don't really know why some parts are even there. When the moon was shown to be the spot of Shadowkeep, but also the spot where we were going to spend the next year, I was extremely excited to jump right back in there and see exactly what I was getting into. This nostalgia was going to be a nice large dose. But now, I don't even find myself wanting to be on the moon for more than doing my weekly activities. Don't get me wrong, I think it can be a good addition to make the world larger and connect the two games. I just think that the nostalgia for a lot of players was over after the first couple of weeks on the moon. To Bungie's credit, they even made the moon newer looking, with a revamp of old areas, some new areas to explore too, but the charm is gone for myself and a lot of other players already. I think when I talk about nightmares, you will understand why. Nightmares were advertised as enemies from our past, enemies that we could fight once again, but this turned into the same problem that Truth has. Nothing was expanded on here, and if anything, we were given a short run through each of the old areas on the moon just to utilize the space it had to offer, not to facilitate new activities. The fun of places like the Shrine of Oryx for me was to see this odd looking planet sculpture in the middle, with the text popping up when you got there on a mission for the Shrine of Oryx, this legendary hive god. This was well teased for future content, and it got me interested with just the environment and the name. Now, we have to fight the champion, the Fanatic, who is in the Shrine of Oryx now, but the thing is, there's no wonder. There's no excitement to it. It's just the Fanatic in a location, a boss that we literally can do a strike for him in Destiny 2 right now. New players don't even really know why they're fighting him outside of him being a nightmare. They're just fighting to fight. I want to give the moon some credit though. Places like the Scarlet Keep, the new dungeon area under the map, and the new areas for Vex invasions, new lost sectors, and a giant Dorito are actually welcomed additions. I can tell by watching people that are new to the world of Destiny that the moon is wonderful and has been a charm for them, but for a longtime player, it just feels the same. I think nightmares could be handled better, but I'll save my whole reasons on that for a different video down the line. On the topic of the player base though, let's have that conversation. Nostalgia is a powerful thing, especially in today's world where you see remasters and remakes all the time in games, and hell, my channel can thank some form of personal nostalgia that I was lucky enough to share with all of you for its success recently. But here's the deal. Nostalgia can sometimes outweigh future development in games. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather have a brand new raid, new mechanics, new boss, new weapons, armor, exotics, the environment as a whole, or would you rather have Vault of Glass raid back, with all the same quirks to it, not a whole lot added? I'm taking the new raid and content over anything I've already done. I can't lie, I love the idea of being able to replay Vault, King's Fall, Wrath, and even the Strike Crota's End. But the problem is, and one that I've already seen with the moon, I would get bored extremely fast with it. I always do get the occasional comment about how a remaster of those raids would be a good idea, but seeing as how Bungie is on their own and has no help from these smaller studios they used to have access to, this content just either isn't possible or would be all of the development time to bring them back and would take away from new content in the game. I actually encourage all of you who are watching who want the old raids back to go play them again and tell me if you would want to have all those as a whole year of content and that be really it. I understand where you're coming from, but I can't see it being a positive for them to bring back, even if there are some new additions. In my mind, new content, good or bad, is still new content. Okay, this one is like obviously subjective, much like all of this video, but I want to highlight some remasters in Destiny 2 that I think did a great job. So let's start with Thorn. When I first saw Thorn on the trailer for Season of the Drifter, I wasn't super stoked. I saw this as a Year 3 Destiny 1 version which hit for 5 ticks of 2 damage and wasn't amazing, lost some range, and really was never the same as the Trials Year 1 hand cannon. But when we did the quest again and I used the new Thorn, I was blown away by it. It's a weapon that can achieve that level of Trials Thorn, but isn't there at the get-go. You must kill an enemy for a green orb to spawn. Once it's picked up, you get Soul Devour, this perk that makes it so you are hitting for close to Year 1 Destiny 1 Thorn damage, and wow, this blew me away. Another good example of a remaster done properly for weapons is the Risk Runner. An exotic back in Destiny 1 called Zalo Supercell existed. It made it so when enemies were close together, you could chain lightning between them and hurt them, but it also refunded ammo when double kills happened. In Destiny 2, a submachine gun called Risk Runner pushed that idea of Zalo further by giving you ammo, damage resistance, a damage buff when arc damage was taken. You can even throw a grenade at your feet to make this one work well for you. And of course it regens ammo. These are great examples of how to push a weapon of old into the new. Now, there are tons of weapons that are in the game that have been updated from old ones, but let's not talk about good remasters with weapons anymore. Let's have a look at areas and bosses too. Hey, remember when Mars was this dry, red sand desert overrun by Cabal and some Vex? Well, guess what? Now it's a winter tundra, still kind of a desert, with Rasputin all over, Hive everywhere, new activities, new strikes that feel unique and don't need to take inspiration from the old ones. Remember when the Tangled Shore and Mercury were just social spaces? Boom! Now they're unique with their own stories to them, some good, some bad. Bosses can be remastered well too. A lot of you guys pointed out that 3 bosses in the Whisper mission were old bosses from Destiny 1, but this time taken. The Captain Drevis was from the House of Wolves. The old Centurion is Valista Auric, the leader of the Cabal Siege Dancers from the old Mars, and Urzok is from Destiny 1 as a public event boss, but they all have one thing in common, and that is going to be my final point. This whole video has done one thing to you watching: impact. Whether that's good or bad is to be decided, but what is important is that there was one. Think back to when I mentioned the mystery of the Shrine of Oryx. This is a place where we have never seen the name before, but we knew its impact if he has a shrine where Hive pray to him and our ghost mentions him. Think of the Whisper mission that we covered, the Last Wish raid, and that video that's soon to be coming out. Basically, all of these videos I have made recently have been about events that have had impact, and when it's not there, when that mystery, that excitement of what's next, that joy of beating the Whisperer, or racing in a day one raid is remade, it just wouldn't have the same impact. Right now in the game, we are being teased constantly of Oryx's manipulative and more insane sister, Savathun. And with numerous strikes, the areas, the lore that Oryx is getting revived by the Hive, and the lore that straight up leads me to believe she is the biggest threat to Guardians in Destiny, this gets me excited to wonder about Savathun. But this impact wouldn't be there if instead we were given a whole year of remade raids, or old weapons with nothing new added, strikes that reference old bosses, and no new threat. It would feel flat and disengaging. So finding that impact is hard to balance when the player base wants old, but also wants new. In general, I think remastering old content with new impact to it to not step on the old area's direction is hard, but achievable. I just really want to see new stuff all the time, and Bungie thankfully has done a good job remastering and not exhausting too much, just a few stumbles in my eyes. So I'll leave that one up to you, the person watching. What does it take for a good remaster in Destiny? What do we need to have to satisfy the majority of players? Not an easy question, I would imagine, so please leave me a comment or let me know on my Twitch channel how to do so. If you enjoyed this video, a like would be greatly appreciated, as well as a subscription. This video was a different one, so thank you for getting to this point if you did. The next big project is coming as soon as it is ready. Anyways, I'll see you later. Love your face. And Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year, guys.
Oh my god, it's the Shrine of Oryx. That's like Crota's dada. I'll never fight him.
This is younger Evan.
Oh my god, that's the Shrine of Oryx. That's like Crota's dada. We're never gonna fight him.